Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you guys that got us to 50 subscribers. I appreciate it a lot and hope that I can continue to make great content for you guys. But I don't want to keep you waiting, so let's get right into the video. So today we're going to be talking all about repeat and while loops and how you can use them within your game. So if you go ahead and start up a script within your workspace, if you already haven't, I've made two variables here. We have scripts and coders. Scripts is assigned the value of 9, and coders is assigned the value of 4. First, we're going to start off with while loops and how you can use them. So to create a while loop, what you're going to say is while, and then this is your condition, do. So this condition right here is basically saying that while this is true, we're going to print everything that's within the while loop over and over again. So if we say local condition equals true, it's going to say while condition, since condition is true, it's going to keep on going through the while loop. So if we go here and say print I am true, and we're going to say task.wait. Basically what this is going to do is it's telling the script to wait 1 second every single time it gets done with whatever's in the while loop before it starts over again. So while this condition is true, it's going to print I am true to the console, and then it's going to wait 1 second and then repeat it over and over again. So if we open up our output here and we start our game, you're going to notice that it's going to print over and over again. So as you see, we have I am true, and it keeps on printing every single second while that condition is true. If we go ahead and set condition to false, it's not going to run the while loop at all. So if we start the game now, I'm going to notice that it doesn't print anything to the console. As this condition is false, it does not execute the while loop because this condition is not true. Repeat loops, on the other hand, act in the same way, but they're an alternative way to repeat your code. A major difference between repeat loops and while loops is that repeat loops will always run at least once, because repeat loops repeat until a variable has hit a certain value. To write a repeat loop, we're going to say repeat print I am repeating, and then you're going to see that until happens at the bottom here. Beside until, we're going to write our condition. So until this variable is equal to a certain amount, it's going to keep repeating this code over and over again within our code. Let's just say until coders is equal to 7. It's going to keep repeating everything within this repeat loop. So if we say after it prints I am repeating, we're going to say coders plus, or coders equals coders plus 1. This is basically going to add a value to coders every single time that the code repeats. So as you see here, it's going to print I am repeating, and then it's going to add 1 to coders. And it's going to keep doing this until coders is equal to 7. Once coders is equal to 7, it's going to stop the repeat loop and go down the later code if you have anything after this repeat loop. So if we start up the game here, you're going to see that it prints I am repeating 3 times. The reason why it did this so quickly is because we don't have the wait there. If we say task.wait, and we say 1, it's going to print this 3 times, as you can see. But if you remember, repeat codes run always at least once, since it has to run this code and then it checks the conditional statement that you have set at the bottom. If we say coders equals 4, for example, you have to be very careful. Since we say that the code is running 1 time before it checks this conditional statement, if we add 1 to coders before we say that coders is equal to 4, since coders is already equal to 4, it's going to add 1. If coders equals 4 plus 1, it's going to make coders 5 before it checks the until statement here. So since coders is going to keep increasing past 5 and up, it's never going to reach 4. This means that this repeat loop is going to run infinitely and cause your code to crash. So be very careful about how you go about this. If we say print I am repeating, it's going to print I am repeating to the console 1 time, as you can see here. Now there are ways that you can forcefully exit a loop within your code. If you go to a while loop and say that while condition is true, we can also say that if let's say if scripts is equal to 10, then we're going to say break. What break is going to do is it's going to forcefully exit this while loop that we have here. And let's go ahead and put an end at the end of our if statement. If we say break, it's going to forcefully exit the while loop. So if scripts is ever equal to 10, it's going to stop every single bit of the code that's happening within it. So if we say print I am running, and then we add 1 to scripts. After this runs, we're going to say scripts. Let's just say scripts is equal to scripts plus 1. What this is going to do is it's going to print I am running once, and then it's going to add 1 to scripts. Since scripts is going to equal 10 when it reaches this if statement, it's going to break out of the while loop. As you can see here, it only runs once. If we change this to, let's say, scripts is equal to 7, and then we wait 1. Or let's actually do this after the if statement so we can see it works. So task.wait 1. So what this is going to do is it's going to print I am running, add 1 to scripts, and then wait 1 second if scripts is not equal to 10. So if we start up the game now, it's going to print I am running every single second until it equals 10. As you can see, it printed 3 times, and now that it says it's equal to 10, it's going to stop the code. That is what a break does. Now you can also do this with your repeat loops. If you want to be sure that your code doesn't crash because you accidentally made an infinite loop, you can always set an if statement here that breaks out of the repeat loop. So if we say that if coders is equal to 10, then we're going to break out of the repeat loop. But there's also an until statement at the end that says if coders equals 5. So if we had the problem like before and we said coders is equal to coders plus 1, this is going to add 1 to coders. So if we say that coders is equal to 4, then coders is initially 4 here, and it's going to check to see if coders is 4 here. But if we add 1 to coders, it's going to go to 5. So if we say task.wait 1, and we print before it, print I am running, we're going to see that it's going to continue printing until it hits this break statement within the if statement that we have here. So if coders is equal to 10, then it's going to break out of the repeat loop. So as you see, it's going to continue printing I am running until it forcefully breaks out of our repeat loop. As you see, it stopped running. Breaks are very important if you want to keep from having infinite loops within your code. Now we're going to start an example segment. So to begin, we're going to create a new part within our workspace. As you see here, I've created a part called random color. In this segment, we're going to be making a part randomly change color while a while loop is active. Every single time that we go through the while loop, every single iteration, we're going to be changing the part to a different random color. To do this, we're going to call from our part and tell the script what our part is that we're looking for. If you remember from the previous video, we're going to say game.workspace, and then from our functions video, we're going to say wait for child. Now we're going to say wait for child random color. This is going to wait for our part to exist within the game. If we say local condition number is equal to, let's say, 5. This is going to be the number that we use to run through our while loop. If this number is not equal to, let's say, 10, then we want the while loop to keep running. So let's say while condition number is not equal to 10, do. So basically this symbol here and the equal sign is a way that you can tell the code to not equal a certain number. So as long as condition number is not equal to 10, then we're going to run through this while loop and continue executing it over and over again. So every single time we run the while loop, we want to increase condition number by 1. So we're going to say condition number plus equals 1. This is another way that you can say that you want condition number to increase by 1 every single time that while is ran. This is basically the same as condition number equals condition number plus 1. We're just going to leave that for now. So now that condition number equals condition number plus 1, it's going to add a value of 1 to condition number every single time that the while loop is ran. Now we want to make our part change to a random color. So let's say part.color is equal to color3.new. I explained this briefly in a previous video. We're going to say something now called math.random. What this does is it generates a random number between 0 and 1. It can be a really long decimal value, but as long as it's between 0 and 1, we can make a random color out of our part. And we're going to do this 3 times as colors3.new takes in an array of 3 different numbers. So math.random and then math.random. This is going to generate a random number within our part for every single RGB value. So we're going to go RGB, and we're going to generate a random number between 0 and 1 for red, a random number between 0 and 1 for green, and a random number between 0 and 1 for blue. So every single time that this while loop is ran, it's going to generate a random color for our part. And let's go ahead and say wait. Let's say task.wait. And let's say 3. So every 3 seconds, our part is going to change to a random color. If we start up the game now, we're going to see that our part changes to a random color. See, it's changing, and it's going to keep doing this until our condition variable is equal or not equal to 10. So as you can see here, it finally stopped changing the color. If we print this condition variable to our console here after the end of every iteration of the while loop, we can see it changing value. So if we print our condition number here, it's going to print every single time that the while loop is ran. So if we start up the game now, you're going to notice the condition number increases by 1 for every single time that the while loop is ran. So we're going to say 6, 7, 8, and it's going to keep doing this until it says 10. Because we are adding that one value within our while loop. Whenever the while loop starts, it's going to be 9, but then we're going to add 1 to it within our while loop. And then we print the value at the very end. So that's why it says 10. So now that our condition variable is equal to 10, the while loop no longer runs. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or concerns, please be sure to send them to me in the comment section. Next video, we're going to be talking all about instances and what they do within our Roblox games. But with that, I want to again say thank you for 50 subscribers on the channel, and I hope you have a great day or night, and I'll see you in the next video.